3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Teaching Crypto. We're coming off a gigantic day in crypto history. And the news hit, unfortunately, right after we went off the air, Mr. FOMO. We just missed it. And I did do a short last night and talk about that today. And on the show, obviously, XRP got some amazing news in terms of the realtor, in terms of retail here. They're not going to be labeled a security. And so that was huge. And it immediately, within a few hours, got listed on Coinbase. And as they say, the rest is history as it ran big time all the way above 90 cents. It was a crazy run, some crazy candles. And there were alts that followed. And Bitcoin also tried to make a run at 32K. We saw ETH briefly get over 2K. It was a big day in crypto.
Well, yeah, and we pointed that out actually before the end of the show that we had a question from a viewer about XRP. We weren't optimistic that it was going to happen yesterday because there have been so many times where people have said that it was going to happen. But we said as soon as XRP is ruled that it's not a security, it's going to jump on Coinbase, and then you're going to have more action after that. And lo and behold, exactly what we said came to life. But it seems like everybody knew that was kind of true. So if you found a way to get some XRP in your bag before this happened, well done.
And hopefully you did take some profits. Some people were asking me off the air, can you still buy XRP today and make some money? Possibly. But be careful because it did pump. And one of the things we talked about is not chasing pumps. Now, this is a very unique situation. Do I think XRP could get in the 90-cent range back today? Yes, but I'm not confident about it. There's just a lot of, it was a great day. However, remember, Bitcoin did kind of get rejected going towards 32. I would think XRP, Mr. FOMO, being that it was relisted on Coinbase, would do well today. However, you just never know in crypto. Be careful. Always make sure, we didn't talk about this on, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. So if you want to take a chance today, not financial advice, I think there's a decent chance XRP lives in the 80 to 90 cent range, but I'm not 100% positive because if you look at the volume that came in yesterday in the billions, it was insane. So who knows if it's going to keep up today, but I would anticipate that at some point today, there might be a mini pump, nothing like yesterday, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, who knows, but there might be a mini pump that might get you back right now trading a little under 80 cents that might get you in the 80s towards the 90s, but no guarantee. Remember a thing about XRP, it is very, very high in market cap. And so it does take a lot of money. So yesterday was a unique situation. Now, that doesn't mean today more people might not jump back in. But just be careful is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I would tend to agree with that. I'd say in the short term, it's probably not excellent, but over the long term, this is probably a solid thing to have in your portfolio. Last bull run, when it was off all of the exchanges and everybody was having a hard time getting a hold of it, it was still trading at a pretty decent price. I think it was somewhere around $1, close to where Cardano was. And so now that the reins are off, I'd like to see where this thing could actually go. And I'm sure there are a lot of XRP holders that agree with that sentiment out there. Now that this is done, they probably are waking up excited every morning, looking to see what their XRP holdings have done, today. So I'm sure this has been an exciting 24 hours for people who have a lot of XRP and have been waiting patiently for this day to come.
Now, you wanted to give the viewers some information about in the future, if not just Bitcoin, but other alts are deemed non-securities and you don't have to worry about the legality, that helps price action tremendously. And you had some quick research that you did that you want to go over our viewers that I think is important. And then we'll get to a few alts that you need to be rewatching that you maybe forgot about before after yesterday's hearing.
All right. So here in this article, you can see that, some cryptos have already been giving international, I forget what the It actually stands for to International Organization for Standardization, but they mix up those letters. But it's based in Geneva, and basically any ISO standard that comes out becomes a global standard almost immediately. So the biggest hurdle to becoming or to mass adoption for cryptos, it seems to be this, right? And there are already some cryptos with unofficial ISO codes: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Solana. And so those are some that you might want to keep an eye on. But here, with the new ISO 20022 crypto list, this standard, once this is adopted, these cryptos are already compliant. And you see Ripple there at the top, XRP right at the top. My old nemesis, Stellar Lumens, that every time I buy it, it goes down 30%. Then IOTA, Algorand, which is a sneaky buy because it hasn't run yet. Your old friend Hedera Hashgraph, Quant, which we have a video coming out about, and Cardano. So all of these are either compliant or rumored to be compliant, and that is going to be a big deal for those cryptos once this moves forward. And so once these ISO standards are adopted, that is the biggest gateway to mass adoption, I feel like. And so these cryptos are in line to be compliant once that is adopted. And I think that's the most exciting news. And when you see Ripple there at the top, that's another feather in Ripple's cap. And quite frankly, all of these cryptos, including the ones that I mentioned before. And so that is the kind of stuff that you want to see when we talk about TradFi really getting excited about crypto and really starting to jump into crypto, because I feel like these are the cryptos that they will be interested in the most because of their compliance.
Now, really, really importantly, I want to take you back in history just a few weeks ago. We had Decentraland, we had ADA, we had Algorand, all named possible securities. Well, those three benefit big time. And, Decentraland is one that people forget about a lot. It did really well in the last bull run, also known as Mana. It only went up 8%. So watch that one. Put that on your watch list. Now, Solana.
Metaverse and gaming play right there is just, it's a great one to have in your portfolio anyway.
Solana and ADA, if you look at the charts, they were some of the biggest winners. But I'm going to give you one right now that didn't run as much. It did run, but it's I think it's been forgotten by a lot of people here, Mr. FOMO, and that's Algo. And you see here, we did go up 11%, okay? But again, when you look at the chart, the Algo all-time high is way, way up here. And so we're still trading way, way below when this thing was hot. And no, this is not a long-term hold for me. But I would think, Mr. FOMO, what we could see is ADA continue to do well. Solana continue to do well. Mana and Algo, all that were named possible securities, and even Filecoin, by the way, was named at one point last couple of weeks. These things could benefit because it seems like now the legality to actually prove something is a security is going to have to be in black and white. It's going to have to be law. It can't just be the SEC saying, well, we think this is security and here's why. No. What is the law? What are the rules? And does this comply or does it not? And
it seems like if they want to sue anybody else, they're going to have to get that squared away. So it looks like regulation is going to have to come pretty soon, right? And then what I love about this Algo is that it's sneaky, right? It was listed as a security in these lawsuits against Coinbase and whoever else. But when you look at what I just talked about, the ISO 20022, you're talking about something that's already compliant with global standards. And now that they've been sort of kicked down as far as price and market cap, because of these lawsuits and because of the way that they're listed by the SEC, this might be a great opportunity to pick something like that up before that crypto standard becomes adopted and, quite frankly, that it goes through the roof.
Well, the market cap right now is still below 1 billion. And that, remember, Algo is a pretty big project, right?
Remember, this is the same crypto that shut down the lights in Times Square, right? They shut down the lights in Times Square for an hour to show that 1 hour of running Times Square's lights is the same as running Algorand for a year.
So the bottom line is you're getting it at 12 cents. All-time high was 282. And this one I'd watch this week. If you're looking for, and again, not financial advice, a quick flip over the next coming days, Algorand might be, because it didn't do a crazy pump like Solana and Cardano did, Algorand might be one to look at here. Want to mention that Chainlink did finally run. Now, I know it was later than we had anticipated. Remember, that was one of the ones. And yes, I know Litecoin has been a little late to the party, but here's what I think about Litecoin and B Miles. We did talk about XRP. I'll talk about it again in a second. If Litecoin retraces this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, listen, it's only a matter of time before it just breaks off that resistance. It was close, right? It got over 100, flirted with 103, 104, but I'm telling you, it's happening, guys. Not financial advice. So my play this weekend is if Litecoin retraces into 96, 97, knock, knock, opportunity. But enough about Litecoin because I don't want to spend all show on it. Really, really quickly, we talked about this. XRP B Miles. I think it can live in the 80s today, but I would be very patient and not go crazy. And here, the only reason why, it's your risk tolerance. The market cap is high. So we had a lot of money coming in yesterday. I think we will have some today, but I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to take profits today as well. So just be careful, trade with caution if you're going to go into XRP today. If you took profits yesterday, you're going to go back in. It is under 80 cents today. Might be an opportunity, but again, just be careful. My only hesitancy with yesterday, Mr. FOMO, was this. Bitcoin did get rejected when it went towards 32K. It seems like someone out there or some people with a lot of money are intent on trying to keep it from going crazy this early in the summer. And we are, towards the middle of the summer here. And my estimate was towards, in the next few weeks, August, and definitely by September, we're going to see a big, big candle. They call them the God candles. And a 35K. And then I anticipate another move up to 40K very soon after that. But I don't know if it's happening right now because yesterday was a great instigator and it ran, don't get me wrong, but it didn't go completely nuts. And actually Bitcoin dominance fell. Go ahead, Mr. FOMO.
No, I think you made a great point there. I think Bitcoin is going to continue to move sideways for a while. I think it's going to be boring for a while. And I think at the end of the summer is when you'll start to see some real action. I have been wrong. I mean, yesterday I said that XRP wasn't going to be cleared anytime soon. So I was wrong with my skepticism there. But I still think that you'll see that sort of summer doldrum through the end of this month. And then we'll get some action.
I want to interrupt you for a second. Sorry. One lesson from yesterday, don't underestimate what a big news day could do for Bitcoin. So if an ETF gets approved out of nowhere or another country starts adding it to its reserve, and then the manipulators who have the big Bitcoin start buying again, you will see a God candle. And so just be aware, yes, even though Mr. FOMO thinks it's going to be sideways, that doesn't mean he's not open to the idea that you wake up on Monday morning and we're at 35K. And what happened? I thought it was going to go sideways. I thought I had a lot of time. And it's because things in crypto move quickly. So just be aware of that. We had a question about Voyager. So whereas October is going to be mediation with Alameda FTX, if they can come to agreement, we'll get something back either in cash or USDC. Now, I'm thinking because of the disaster of the withdrawal system here, where they're still handling withdrawals from the first week, Mr. FOMO. There are people, Mr. FOMO, that withdrew the first couple of days that are still waiting for their stuff. It's absolutely insane.
Well, it's like they're doing it by hand, right? Like somebody has a pencil and paper ledger over there. It
would not shock me if there was either
money well spent.
It was either a cash situation, or it was a USD situation where they said you can only do so many withdrawals, right? Because a lot of people were doing those test withdrawals of $1, and they weren't prepared for that, let me tell you. So my guess is we're either going to get cash, or what I would hope, so we have quicker access is it comes in USDC, and I believe that was originally the plan. So if it comes in USDC, maybe they say, hey, only 2 withdrawals per account. You want to do a test one, fine, but your test one might not arrive for 48 hours. So that's what I see.
And remember, from everything that I've been hearing, we're optimistically looking at about 90% of that 440 or so million coming back. So, yeah, and I mean, that's me being optimistic, right? That's something that hardly ever happens. But if we get 90% back, you're looking at another 20%. So that's an important thing for Voyager customers or Voyager creditors to remember is don't delete that app because you may have some more cash coming your way.
Yeah, actually, we're going to do a show next week about if you are a Voyager customer. Some people have made some horrible mistakes. Not a lot of people, but I've heard people talk about what they were going to do with their Voyager accounts, and it would be a big mistake. So stay tuned for that. But yes, do not close your account way too early. Great question. Did we take profits? I did not take any Litecoin profits because my Litecoin, forecast for myself, not financial advice, is much higher than the low 100. So no, I did not take any Litecoin. I did not take any Ethereum or Bitcoin profits because those to me are longer term holds. And, everything else I own right now is small that I'm building up. We talked about Avalanche, talked about Multiverse X, eGold, and all that stuff. So I don't. And the only one that would make sense to take profits on yesterday would have been Chainlink. Okay, so if you had bought Chainlink when we say, hey, look for Chainlink, yesterday was the day. So Chainlink would have been the only one to answer your question. The others, no. And to be honest, my Chainlink bag, was tiny. All right, it's just being honest, because I want to leave one of my strategies and talk about this is I want to give myself options, right? Unfortunately, could not jump on XRP fast enough yesterday. Probably should have had a better plan in case, but I was doing stuff with my family and my kids, and I just couldn't jump on and do what I needed to do. But
those are the breaks in crypto, right? But that's also the beauty of crypto is that crypto is going to come back around, right? It's not like your FANG stocks or whatever else in the regular market where you're going to have to wait for something awful to happen in the world. Crypto, it might just be tomorrow. It just falls.
That's what I said in the short is, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. I mean, guys, Bitcoin is still at 31K. It's a great opportunity. I know it can be boring because it's not going to 35 in 2 hours, most likely. But imagine how you're going to feel if you buy at 31 when it does go to 35, then 40, then 45, then 50. And you can take profits along the way, or you could. And the beauty of this, Mr. FOMO, and I want to mention this, we didn't talk about this in the and if you haven't checked out our must-dos in the bull run, please check it out. It's based on our personal experience. When Bitcoin in the bull run does take a big dip, it's an excellent chance to buy back and wait for it to go up and take profits. It could be your own risk-free leverage trade, basically, unless you're buying towards the very end of the bull run. But if you notice in the first couple months of the bull, and it did do this last time, I don't know if people remember, but Bitcoin actually in the bull, it was towards the middle, I would say. We went from 30K and we went back down 10,000 just like that in one of the months. And so the people that bought back at 20, when they made it back to 30, nice profits to be had. That's a 50% increase right there, and something very stable and secure. So there's always going to be opportunities. You do want to be today was very unique. Yesterday was very unique. You do want to be careful chasing pumps. So I would not unload my entire bag on XRP today. Although again, I do think it get back in the 80s today. So risk tolerance.
And just something that Rora said, he took him 9 days to get his money, but he was hoping to get back the coins and not USDC. And there's kind of a double-edged sword there. There's a silver lining that they kind of did you a favor. If you're at a loss, then they gave you that loss for tax purposes. And then you can go back and now you've got a chance to do some more research or to rely on that research you've done as you've been waiting on these funds. Now you've got an opportunity to redeploy in some different tokens and some, and probably a broader range of tokens considering Voyager didn't offer that many. And so maybe maybe take a different look at it and say, this is an opportunity for me to rebuild a portfolio that was, sort of stolen from me.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be getting back tax forms. Definitely. I'll inquire more about that. I was told yes, but who knows when it's going to happen. But yeah, because of the security risk that they had, they decided to remember to give a lot of them back in USDC, including VGX. Remember, VGX has no utility. It barely went up yesterday. It did. Everything went up a little bit, but just keep that in mind. But really quickly, when we appreciate, I forgot to mention this, please hit that subscribe button, guys. It really, really helps us out. We're trying to make a push to 700 and above. So do us a huge favor. And we are starting to add some pretty cool merchandise as well. We got, if you want to celebrate the XRP win, got a pretty cool t-shirt and a mug available for you. And if you want to celebrate Alex Mashinsky going to jail, got a pretty cool t-shirt. So we'll maybe put a link below. Anything you can do to help the channel, if you can, is always 1,000,000% greatly appreciated. We will keep going with more content. Got some exciting shorts, maybe a token review this weekend. Maybe we'll go live again. Who knows? We'll have to see. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you later.
See ya.